The temple was much larger than the compound in Mibu as advertised. The whole Shinsengumi could gather in the common room with space to spare. As Kondo spoke, his voice echoed grandly throughout the hall. Standing before Kondo were the many proud men under his leadership with glowing expressions.
By now, I imagine you have all heard that Iemochi Tokugawa, the 14th shogun of the Tokugawa shogunate, will be visiting our city of Kyoto. The Shinsengumi have been asked to guard him as he passes through the city on his way to Nijo Castle. What? The Shinsengumi guards the shogun? Wow, that's one big promotion.
Huh. Too hard for them to ignore us after Ikeda and Hamaguri, huh? Our work's finally paying off. Guess you could say the fate of the country will be resting on our swords, huh?
That's exactly it. You guys better be ready for it.
Guarding the shogun, that is one big role. Indeed. If only Sanan was alive, he would have been so happy. How truly dreadful to have lost such an ally.
Ito wiped crocodile tears away from his eyes with a silk handkerchief. Ito and his followers were told Sanan died. In fact, the entire incident surrounding his transformation had been covered up. Only a few of the men of the Shinsengumi knew the truth.
Aww. Ito. I think performing the job given to us by the shogun is what Sanan would have wanted.
Yes, I understand. This is an excellent opportunity for us to thrust our name into the forefront of the masses. Things are going to get pretty hectic soon.
We ought to get our assignments hashed out. To begin, I'd like Toshi, Soji, and myself to... Sorry, Kondo, but you think maybe Soji can sit this one out. Why is that? Supposedly, his cold hasn't recovered. I've repeatedly told him to take care of himself. What? Soji, is this true? Are you alright?
The demon's just being a mother hen, sir. I think I'm fine.
Don't give me that crap. You just about coughed up a lung earlier.
Is that your excuse to sell me some meds? No matter what, I won't buy a sheet of medicinal powder.
That's not what I'm trying to do. Just shut up and follow my orders.
I gave Okita some pretty strong medicine not too long ago. I wonder if that didn't work. Or maybe he doesn't have a cold, but rather he's inhaling dust from the lack of cleaning here. Then, suddenly someone raised his hand.
What's the matter, Heisuke? Something on your mind?
Kondo? I'm not feeling so great either.
You too, Heisuke? You better take care of yourself. This is our time to shine. I was hoping to have all of us there to greet the shogun.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, your health comes first. Always. I'm sure you'll have another chance. I just have to make sure you get to do something spectacular.
Kondo and Hijikata continued to discuss their formation, but... Suddenly, Hijikata turned to me.
Alright, what are you going to do?
What?
Don't give me that. I'm asking if you're coming with us or not.
I can go too?
Of course. We certainly won't mind. After all, you're practically one of us. If you want, I'd love to have you come.
Could I? Could I really go? I hesitated for a moment, confused, and Okita laughed. Why don't you go? It doesn't seem too dangerous either.
Yeah, the Choshu domain can't come in or out of Kyoto, so I'm sure there will be no fights.
Haha. What should I do? I'm just a little concerned about a person like me who's not a warrior coming along, but... I was feeling emotionally strained with no leads of my father turning up on rounds. I'll go.
Alright then. I figured we'd put you in charge of running errands as a messenger. I'm using the hell out of you, so brace yourself.
Aye, aye. However, as much as I love my favorite demon boy, I think we'll skip ahead a little bit. We don't need to see the lead up to this because we're just gonna run away. So, sorry Kazuma, I do love you. But we have done this a few times now. And I'm not sticking around. I gotta run back to my boo. I won't give Yamazaki any grief this time around. Yamazaki! Alright. Let's head out, man. Clean. Even as I ran back to the headquarters with Yamazaki, I couldn't shake the fear in my heart. When I finally got to the compounds, I still felt nervous, and I could do nothing but stare into the blank darkness behind me.
You're fine now. I'm sure they can't follow you here.
But I remember that I picked that and I got the option to go to Soji or Heisuke. Last time, the "you're right" is probably for Yamazaki. But
I feel really bad saying this when you're worried, but I must return to the commander. If everyone is out to protect the Shogun, then most of the warriors aren't going to be here. I think it's most safe for you to be with Okita or Toto.
okay. Understood.
Well, I'll leave the rest to you.
With that, he disappeared back into the darkness. Suddenly, the night felt very quiet. The word demon echoed through my head, and their faces floated in front of my eyes. I shook my head. As the temple came back into focus, I felt very, very alone. As Yamazaki said, I should go find Okita or Heisuke. But whom should I look for? Heisuke. The night compounds that I'm so used to felt like a place I don't know. Nearly all of the members of the Shinsengumi left to guard the Shogun, which meant the compound was still, cold, and oddly silent. So when I spotted Heisuke, I was quite relieved. Heisuke.
Huh? Chizuru? What are you doing here all alone? Did you guys already finish with the Shogun?
Actually... I didn't know where to start. Stumbling over my words more often than not, I poured out the whole story. At the mention of Amagiri, the man who'd wounded Heisuke at Ikeda, he scowled.
That guy came to Nijo Castle. And not only that, they came for you.
Yeah.
Are you sure they weren't mistaken? Maybe they mixed you up with someone else.
I don't think so. I don't know how, but they knew my name.
I see. That's kinda creepy.
Yeah, it is, or it's alright now, though. I'll save. I'm assuming it's alright now is probably the way to go. Because Heisuke's with me. He'll protect me. But I'm alright now, right?
Hooray! Yep, you don't have to worry so long as you're here. I'll be with you.
Aw, thank you. Thanks. He pounded his chest with one fist and grinned. I felt a little better. There was something about his bravado that was somehow comforting. But, wait. I thought you didn't feel well. Shouldn't you be resting inside? Or better yet, I'll prepare some medicine. You weren't supposed to notice.
Oh, about that. Actually, the truth is, I'm fine. I lied.
What? Why? He looked at me for a moment, then shook his head in defeat.
I didn't want to leave to guard the Shogun.
What do you mean you didn't want to go? Why? Heisuke seemed to be unsure whether to open up, and he looked up at the night sky for a moment. Come on, man. We must be past budding stage by now. Eventually, he slowly but quietly continued speaking.
Well, Kondo, Hijikata, the shogunate, they all respect Iamochi very much. But I just can't get myself to feel the same way.
What do you mean by that? I was in disbelief that he would admit such a thing, so I had to ask.
I don't think you know since you haven't been back to Edo lately, but in Edo, you can see foreigners building all these towers, setting up shop like they own the place. But it seems like the officials of the shogunate don't think anything of that. Does he really plan on expelling the foreigners? It's starting to make me feel like he has no interest in protecting the civilians of Edo. So, under these circumstances, here comes the shogun. It left a bad taste in my mouth. Besides, you heard about it, right? About that serum.
My heart pounded. I did.
That was all orders given by the shogunate. Kondo believed that if we worked hard and showed some results, someday the shogunate would approve of our efforts, but I can't shake this feeling, knowing there's a high chance they'll just use us and throw us away.
Heisuke.
Oh, don't get me wrong, though. I'm not saying that I have an issue with how Kondo and Hijikata are running things. I mean, I really do like them and respect them enough that I've moved all the way to Kyoto with them.
Heisuke's eyes were filled with confusion and pain, and it hurt my heart seeing them. I understand, so that's why you were so different when you came back. You saw all the changes that had happened since you left to come to Kyoto, and they were not good. Aw. Heisuke. To be in the predicament of not knowing what's right or wrong, and how to confront being loyal to something you don't believe in. So, was that why you invited Ito to the Shinsengumi?
Yeah. Ito is very in tune with politics, and he keeps up with trends and has a lot of connections. I would have thought he might lead the troops in a good direction. Well, at least better than now.
As any group grows, it must begin to accept people with differing viewpoints. Size and human nature simply decrees it cannot be tightly focused forever. So long as the Shinsengumi fought in the front lines of any war, it would lose friends to death. But how many might it lose, I wonder, to differences of opinion? I did my best to put the thought from my mind. Enjoy the present. Don't worry about the future. It's coming soon enough. That was what I truly believed, and I quietly looked up at the starry sky. Well, thanks for opening up to us, Heisuke. Since then, once the rest of the men returned, there was a meeting among the captains. The subject of that meeting was the 3 men at Nijo Castle, Chikage Kazuma, Kyuju Amagiri, and Kyo Shiranui. They called themselves demons, and their previous encounters with the Shinsengumi suggested they were somehow involved with the Satsuma and Choshu. The Satsuma were the most powerful domain in the opposition domain, and the Choshu were publicly expressive of their dissent towards the shogunate. The Choshu are essentially enemies of the court. I don't know how the 3 men are supposedly affiliated with the domains, but it was abundantly clear they are not to be dealt with carelessly. There was another problem, however. Why had they come for me? They said I was one of them, and knew about my family name and my kodachi. But how? My name is Chizuru Yukimura. I am the daughter of my father and my mother. I am a normal girl, nothing out of the ordinary. But who am I? More than what you seem, girl. Should be running to Dr. Matsumoto soon, I guess. This might even be it. June. The compound was alive with noise and movement. I passed several soldiers in the halls, each one of them excited about something. What was going on?
This is unconscionable. Never in all my...
Ito, is something wrong?
Yes. Yes, I'd say everything is wrong. Why should I be made to bare my skin in the same room as those savages?
Ito's explanation was useless. I was completely confused. Is there something going on today? Ito did his best to collect himself, shakily adjusting his hair and clothing before he spoke.
Someone claiming to be a doctor whom Kondo met on his visit to the Shogun has arrived. He is conducting physical examinations.
He glared pointedly across the hall towards the area he'd just left. The men were getting physical checkups, that much I knew. Given my particular situation, I'd been exempted by the captains, who also gave me special instructions to stay away.
That hairless monster! That doctor. He demanded I remove my clothes in front of everyone. When I refused, as any decent man would, he tried to remove them himself. By force! And the rest of them just stood there. What sort of uncultured savages are they?
Savages seemed a bit strong. At any rate, perhaps I should go see just what a physical entailed. I was a doctor's daughter, after all. What's this doctor's name?
I believe he called himself Ryojin Matsumoto.
What? Wait. Dr. Matsumoto?
What's up with that reaction? Do you know him?
When I first came to Kyoto, my plan was to find Dr. Matsumoto. My father told me that I could rely on the man if I ever needed anything. Unfortunately, he was away on business when I'd arrived, and after that, I'm going to go watch the physical exams. There was no time to waste.
Oh my. So you want to see those savages? What peculiar taste.
Is this it? I could hear loud voices from inside. Oh! Oh. The scene froze me in place.
Alright, next.
At last, my turn! Check this out, Doctor! What? What do you think? You're looking at the amazing product of years of training.
Your body's fine, Shin. I think it's your head the doctor ought to be taking a look at.
What's that? You say you want me to beat the daylights out of you?
You're fine, Shinpachi Nagakura. Now get. Next!
Whoa, hold on there, Doc. You gotta get a good look at this.
No, you're quite fine. Healthy as a horse. And I've seen quite enough, thank you.
You're holding up the line, Shinpachi. Get moving, okay? I'm just saying, I don't really think you've had time to fully examine. Don't you want to order a slice of this beefcake? I got 2 meaty servings on a plate, right here. A medical examination is for finding problems, not showing off. Now move.
It wasn't difficult to see why Ito was desperate to escape. I couldn't imagine him as part of such a display. Alright, I just wanted to go through that scene again. And Yamazaki, thank you very much. We can skip all of this. I didn't really need to move my mouse there, whatever. Reunited with Dr. Matsumoto, and then him and Sanan are gonna have a sparring match. About the serum. And then what happens after that? We clean. No, we clean. Soji gets diagnosed. What else happens? I'm trying to think if there's any opportunity to run into Heisuke. Oh. Perfect timing, we're cleaning. We can do this bit since we do interact with Heisuke a little bit.
Ah! A rat!
Whoops. Oh well. We'll go from here, I guess.
It seems as though it was feeding on that rice ball over there.
You're right. Who the hell hid their leftovers over here in the corner?
Ugh. Why do I have to bother myself with such a menial task like a servant? I mean, I'm a strategist more than anything. Cleaning isn't in my job description.
Chill out. Why don't you just whip out your prize Koshu style and do all the work for us?
Shut it! My Koshi military science wasn't designed to help any of you with your housework. What a preposterous idea!
You're quite the big meanie, Harada. Those archaic tactics of his wouldn't be enough to fetch a broom, let alone clean this mess.
Miki, you watch your mouth. It may be outdated compared to Western studies, but Koshi military science is far from outdated.
Oh look, Kondo's coming.
What? Chief Kondo, please look. This room was so dirty you couldn't even walk on it, but under my guidance it's clean as a Where's the chief?
Takeda realized Kondo was nowhere to be seen, and he glared at Harada.
You fell for it.
Damn you, Harada. You tricked me!
Wow, between bitching, kissing ass, and whining like a baby, you're quite the multitasker. Don't you ever get tired of being a two-faced prick, not knowing which face to show people?
Hi everyone, I've washed the rags. Please use this when you wipe the floor.
Oh, awesome. Thanks!
Despite being upset because of chore duty, the men swiftly cleaned the room as a team. Good job, everybody. Dr. Matsumoto came the next day to inspect the cleanliness of the compounds.
Okay, this looks to be in adequate shape.
Right. See everyone, even the doctor realizes that I'm in shape.
Compared to the complexity of war tactics, it's not like cleaning is some brilliant task.
All you did was complain.
Didn't Soji get to rest all day? Sounds like he got special treatment while we busted our asses.
Hey, don't blame me. Hijikata is the one being overprotective here.
It is your fault. You're the one coughing up a lung. You're not improving because you don't take care of yourself. Seeing the compound in such clean conditions is, I must admit, quite nice. True. The place looks different. I could get used to this. Well, maybe we should clean every day then. Great idea. Make sure you do a good job, Heisuke.
Me? Whoa, hold on a minute here. You've got the most energy, Shin. Don't think you're getting out of this.
I'll help too, Heisuke.
Oh yeah? We'll take it on together. You and me alone. Forget Shin.
That's my boy.
Hey, wait a minute. I didn't say I wasn't gonna do it. Shinpachi, there's some trash over there. Go throw it away. We aren't starting till tomorrow, right? Heisuke? Stop running around like that. We just cleaned and you're already kicking up dust.
I was enjoying the banter when I noticed something. Oh? There they go. I could just see Okita and Dr. Matsumoto outside, walking off somewhere together. Where could they be going? I wondered. Not my business this time. I was worried for Okita, but he'd be fine so long as Dr. Matsumoto was with him. After the excitement wound down, I excused myself and went back to work. I can't remember if Heisuke came out here or not, so I'm just gonna do this. I was outside sweeping, bamboo broom in hand, when he appeared.
What are you doing here?
Don't come any closer! His voice was so deep that it felt as if it were exhumed from the depths of the earth, covering me. Slowly, I turned around.
You have the pure blood of a demon running in your veins, and yet you run errands and clean up for a pack of humans.
Kazuma! His face was a mixture of surprise and sneering disgust as he looked down at me through cold eyes. I held the broom in both hands like a staff and stepped into what I hoped was a fighting stance. What are you doing here? He laughed with disdain, snorting at my weapon.
You mean to fight me with that? Your heritage hasn't blessed you with brains, I see.
His tone was mocking, but his eyes were like 2 chips of ice. This was a dangerous man. What was I to do? I could hardly face him alone.
Calm down. I haven't come here to fight. Not today, at least. I only want to know what, if anything, you have to do with Kyoto.
My father? I was staring at him, stunned by his statement.
Father? You mean Kyoto?
If you're talking about Koto Yukimura, then yes, he's my father.
I see.
At first he seemed surprised, but then he wore a malicious grin as if he became privy to everything. Why are you asking about my father? I lowered the broom, my situation temporarily forgotten when...
Trying to sneak into the enemy camp alone, huh? Well, not on my watch.
Hijikata?
What are you doing out here in broad daylight? It's a little early to be picking up chicks, pal.
Get away from her!
Harada! Heisuke!
I heard you yelling. Sounded like you were up to something besides cleaning.
You alright, Chizuru? Are you hurt?
Aw, thanks, Heisuke. Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm fine.
The Mibu's wolves can only fight in a pack, eh?
Watch it.
I could feel the tension rising by the second, but it was Kazuma who attempted to cut through it.
If you want to play, then I'm happy to oblige, but... I'm here today to take care of some business. More specifically, to issue a warning. Stop trying to turn humans into demons.
What? Humans into demons? Was he talking about the water of life?
You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, what makes you think we're gonna listen to a sleazebag who'd attack a girl in broad daylight? Idiots. Are you too blind to see I'm doing you a favor? Well, they do say the smaller the dog, the louder the bark.
This is our turf! You better shut your trap before we gotta do it for you!
He looked away from the captains as if entirely uninterested in them and flashed a cold gaze to me.
Chizuru Yukimura. Kyoto is with us now. Do you understand what that means? Your father has abandoned the shogunate.
What? His mysterious smile gave me nothing in the way of explanation.
Why are you here? I suggest you think on that. Carefully.
Then with a slow rippling motion, like a shadow sliding on ground, he turned his back and vanished. What was happening? What were demons, and why had they come after me? My father was with them? On their side, he must have meant. Did that mean he was working with Imperialists? The inside of my head was a swirling mass of questions and doubts, but the one thing that most concerned me was... I don't think their interest in me. Oops, that's not what I want to do at all. I've done the demons. That was Hijikata. Interest in me is probably Kazuma. Maybe? Not necessarily. I mean, Heisuke's been the most concerned, like always checking to see if we've got any news about our father. So maybe father's the... We'll know by who shows up immediately after this. I'm gonna guess father. What had become of my father? Did my father really betray the shogun? I thought he was working for the shogun. And how was Kazuma so familiar with my father? The more I thought about it, the more I realized just how little I actually knew. Well, Heisuke's talking first, so hopefully.
Well, I mean, it's not a guarantee that all members of the Imperial Nationalist Party are like the men of the Choshu. Besides, we don't even know if what that punk said is true. I mean, he could just be saying all of this to rattle you up a bit.
He has a point. It would be dangerous to take his information at face value if you have no evidence for it.
I suppose.
We've got the watch looking for Kyoto. I'm sure they'll find something soon.
Thank you. I hadn't really expected any of them to be so nice to me. It was a pleasant surprise. The only reason they allowed me to stay was because I was my father's daughter. That hadn't changed. But... yay! Being concerned for your father is a good way to another man's heart. Is that what I take from this?
Well, at least you know he's alive, right? That alone is good news. I'll let you know as soon as I find anything out, okay? So, don't let it get to you, Chizuru.
Of course. Thank you. Their words, Heisuke's especially, brightened my spirits a bit.